Hi, just a warning before you watch this video that it does contain some reference to suicide and obviously a lot of reference to mental health issues because that's what I do. But just to be fair and to warn you up front, if you are triggered by discussions of mental health episodes and suicide, I highly recommend you do not watch this video and you click away and watch Kittens instead. Thank you. Hi, I'm Auntie Tam, and if you watch me regularly, you know that I do content on mental health awareness and mental health issues. I am not a psychiatrist, psychologist, neuroscientist, counselor, or anything like that. I am just a regular person who experiences mental illness, and I talk from that experience. And today is the very last day of Mental Health Awareness Month. And I decided I would do this video to reflect on the month that has been, that's passed, well, the last day. And just to talk to you a little bit about my journey and that kind of thing. If you don't want to watch it, it's cool, really, click away, it's fine. But what I wanted to just say is that going through this process of creating content for Mental Health Awareness Month, oh, look at my glasses, just reflecting. Going through this month and creating mental health awareness content for Mental Health Awareness Month and doing the trauma series had brought up quite a few things for me, which obviously I am dealing with, but nothing drastic, nothing crazy. But it really made me consider how many people are out there who don't have access to mental health help. It made me think of all the people who are completely unaware that they have mental health issues. I mean, when I was thinking back in 2019, in the September of 2019, basically, this current episode that I encountered of depression kicked off around about September. Initially I was like, no, it'll just blow over by itself. I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. It was a time of a lot of stress in my life. There was a lot of stresses. And, you know, I just thought, well, you know, if I can just get over this hump, get over all of this stuff, I'll actually start to feel better and I won't need to talk to a doctor. So by the December, I had become a lot worse. Now, I had started a job that year in the June of that year in news. My wife had an accident and broke her shoulder at the end of July. So I was assisting her with her job and I was doing my job, and my job was night shift. So I wasn't actually getting the kind of sleep that I needed, and I was getting really stressed out. And but I thought, you know what, once we're over this hump, we'll be fine. And then COVID happened. So by the January of 2020, I was already a little bit off kilter. Then the March of 2020 rolled around, and just before we all went into lockdown, a very close friend of mine passed away, had a heart attack, passed away. A week later, we were in lockdown. And we entered globally as the entire citizenry of the world, we entered into something completely unprecedented, unpredictable, traumatic, disturbing, crazy pandemic. And by October of 2020, I wasn't coping. I was not able to continue saying, we just get over this hump and I'll be okay. I was in denial for a very long period of time. And I find that often happens when we go into a period of depression, when we encounter a depressive episode. We tend to deny that this is what's happening. We say, oh, I'm just stressed out. Oh, I'm just tired. Oh, I'm just going through a tough time. to be very sure that you are, talk to somebody about it. Oh, this lighting's weird. To be very sure about it, talk to somebody about it. Talk to a medical professional about it. Talk to your general practitioner or phone Lifeline. It's a number. And talk to somebody about it, because I wish I had done that. I wish I had gone through that process, because my depression got worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point where in October 2020 I was ready to end my life. I was placed on a drug to help me, because I did get help after that. Because I did end up in hospital, not because I tried to end my life, but because I developed nephritis, which is a really bad kidney infection. And so obviously I was trying to find a way, and I communicated to the medical professionals there that this is how I was feeling. I spoke to my GP. She put me onto a specific drug, which made things worse. So I stayed on that for about a week and then came off, because I just couldn't. No. I mean, as I've said before in one of my other videos, not every drug is for every person, and not every depressive episode or every person needs medication. And sometimes people do. And hey, I'm one of those people who do. And by January 2021, I was finally on the right medication and I'd started to heal. But it took me about a year and leaving news to actually start to feel like I'm stable, I'm confident, I'm feeling more of like myself. And one of the things I was thinking about this afternoon was, who am I? Who am I without medication? Who am I without depression? Is that really who I am? Is that really part of my life, that it defines me? Is if you take the depression away, who am I? If you take the medication away, who am I? What is unmedicated Tam like? Because I have been on medication on and off since the age of about 12. No, I'm lying to you, not 12, 16. It's about the age of 16. I've been on and off medication. So we're talking what? 32 years? 33 years? On and off. And I was just thinking about how many of us are out there telling ourselves, no, I'm just tired. No, this will blow over. No, I'll give it another week. No, I'm just going through a rough period. No, I'm just stressed. And I reckon we need to be really responsible with our mental health. I was listening to a talk today about an author who's a CEO, and he's talking about his experiences as a CEO. And what he was telling us was that your mental and spiritual health is incredibly important in the work sphere, particularly if you want to achieve greater things. And this sat with me, because he's right. If your mental and spiritual and your physical health, your emotional health are not looked after and are in a difficult or unhelpful state, you're going to struggle more. And my message then for the end of this this month of mental health awareness is to ask you all to take very good care of yourself and very good care of your mental health. We don't realize how vital good mental health is until it starts to break down. And it's much more helpful to catch it in the early stages, because honestly, if I had gone when the first inklings of this started to emerge, I'm not saying I would have, but I may not have had such a tough time recovering from this particular depressive episode. So the sooner you can catch it, the sooner you can get help, and the sooner you can get better and back on your feet. There is absolutely no shame at all admitting that you are not well. There is absolutely no shame whatsoever admitting that you have a mental illness. My name is Tam. I have a mental illness. I have depression, anxiety, PTSD, and a little bit of OCD. I'm not saying you have to come out of the closet. Really, I'm not saying you have to announce to the entire world. Not everybody wants to do that. I'm out on a limb here doing that, but that's me. You don't have to. But the thing is, whether you choose to tell everyone around you that you're experiencing mental health issues or whether you choose not to tell them, that is irrelevant. Because the main thing is getting help. And I will say this again, and I can say this in every single video that I do, therapy. Really, therapy is incredibly helpful. So I will urge you, if you are, especially if you have been denying your mental state, especially if you have been struggling, especially if you have found that you may have felt ashamed or embarrassed about experiencing mental health issues, you are not alone. You are not alone. Understand this. You feel like you are alone, but you're not. And I'm speaking directly to you right now. You are not alone. There are many of us out there. All you have to do is reach out and ask for help. I know how hard that is. I completely understand how hard that is. I know how powerful that denial is. But you've got to ask yourself, are you willing to continue to live in this space of pain? Or are you willing to take a chance to get well? Are you going to allow this pain to drive you to the edge of death or to kill you? Or are you going to get help? You may not feel right now that there is anything to live for. I understand. I've been there. I know what that feels like. You may not feel that way, but there is help. And you do have a chance to recover. And you do have a chance to enjoy your life. I know you don't feel like that right now. I know you're not feeling happy right now. I know that recovery seems impossible. It's not. And you're not alone. And help is there. Take care of yourself. Look after your mental health. Keep growing. Do great things. And if you need to ask questions, if you need help, go to your GP. Phone Lifeline. Get the help you need because you're worth it. You know, I know you don't feel like it right now. I know you really don't. But you are. You are. Thank you very much. My name is Auntie Tam. Peace.